You've probably been there, staring at that diagram, a jumble of arrows and tiny circles, feeling your brain just seize up. Equilibrium potential. Two words that sound so simple, yet they bring a wave of confusion. It's like trying to untangle a ball of yarn after a cat's had its way with it. You read the textbook, you watch the lectures, and still, it feels like a foreign language. A secret code you're just not privy to. That knot in your stomach, that slight headache forming behind your eyes. That's the struggle with a concept that seems to defy common sense, a core idea in physiology that just refuses to click. You know it's important, crucial even, but right now it feels like a cruel joke. Imagine this, a cell membrane, thin as gossamer, separating two worlds. On one side, a chaotic swarm of positively charged ions, bumping into each other, almost desperate to get to the other side. On the other side, a much smaller, quieter crowd of the same ions, but also a growing negative charge, a silent magnet pulling at everything positive. The chemical gradient, that sheer difference in concentration, is pushing hard, trying to shove those ions across the membrane. They're practically elbowing each other, a relentless force driving them from high concentration to low. But then, as more and more positive ions manage to squeeze through, the electrical gradient starts to build. It's like a silent, invisible hand pushing back. The side that gained positive charges becomes more positive, and the side that lost them becomes more negative. Now those positive ions trying to cross are not just moving against a concentration difference, they're also being repelled by the electrical charge that's building up. It's messy, it's frantic, and for a moment it looks like pure pandemonium. The ions move, they hesitate, some even get pulled back. There's no clear winner, just a visible disarray, a constant restless movement where no one seems to be getting anywhere definitively. It's a visual representation of how things are when these forces aren't understood, when they're left to just battle it out with no guidance. Watching this struggle, this constant give and take, you can't help but pause. It's a moment of quiet observation, a flicker of thought crossing the mind as you take in the complexity. The sheer number of factors at play, the invisible forces tugging and pushing, it's a lot to process. There's no immediate panic, no desperate urge to throw up your hands. Instead, it's a silent recognition of the intricate dance happening, a patient waiting for the pieces to align. But nature, in its wisdom, always seeks balance. What if I told you that understanding this balance is not just about memorizing equations, but about seeing the elegant dance of forces, a dance you can master in minutes? Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us where you're watching from in the comments. I remember that feeling all too well. It wasn't that long ago, really, when I was exactly where many of you are right now, wrestling with equilibrium potential. I can still picture myself late at night, surrounded by textbooks, open to pages filled with graphs and formulas that just refused to make sense. It felt like everyone else in my class just got it, while I was stuck in a fog. My notes were a mess of scribbled arrows and question marks, and the more I tried to push through, the more confused I became. It was frustrating, a real mental block that made me doubt my own understanding of basic physics and chemistry, let alone physiology. Think about it like this. Imagine you're at a busy airport. There's a gate, and on one side, it's packed with people desperate to get to the other side to catch their flight. That's your chemical gradient, a huge crowd wanting to move from a high concentration to a low one. They're pushing, they're shoving, they're all trying to get through that gate. Now, imagine that as people start moving through, the security guard on the other side notices that too many people are piling up, so the guard starts pushing back, telling people to slow down, maybe even physically blocking some from coming through. That guard is your electrical gradient, an opposing force that builds up as more people cross, making it harder for others to follow. At first, the crowd's push is stronger, and people rush through. But eventually, the security guard's push becomes just as strong as the crowd's. People are still moving, yes. Some are still trying to get through, but for every person that manages to push past the guard, another person gets pushed back or simply decides the effort isn't worth it. There's no net movement of people across the gate anymore, even though individuals are still jostling. That's the balance, the point where the crowd's desire to move and the guard's resistance are equal. My biggest mistakes, the ones that kept me from understanding, were pretty common. I kept thinking the chemical gradient was the only thing that mattered. I'd focus so much on the difference in concentration that I'd completely ignore the electrical charge building up, the security guard in my airport analogy. It was like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing. Then, I'd confuse the idea of net movement with individual ion movement. I'd think that at equilibrium nothing was happening, that all movement just stopped. But that's not true. It's a dynamic balance, like our airport gate where people are still moving, but the overall number on each side stays the same. Another big one was thinking that equilibrium meant equal concentrations on both sides. That's rarely the case, and it's a trap many fall into. And the Nernst equation, oh, that was a beast. I'd try to memorize it, plug in numbers and hope for the best, without really grasping what each part of the equation represented in terms of those opposing forces. It was rote memorization, a flimsy bridge across a conceptual chasm. These small habits, these little mental shortcuts, really chipped away at my understanding. It was incredibly frustrating to study for hours, feel like I had a handle on it, and then get a test question wrong. There was this feeling of inadequacy, especially when some classmates seemed to just effortlessly understand it. I'd catch myself skimming over the sections on equilibrium potential in my textbooks, secretly hoping it wouldn't be a major topic on the exam. I tried to compartmentalize it, treating it as a standalone concept rather than seeing how it connected to everything else in physiology. And honestly, I just convinced myself it was an inherently difficult topic, creating a mental barrier that made it even harder to learn. It was a vicious cycle of misunderstanding and self-doubt. The real turning point came when I stopped trying to force the information into my brain and started seeing it. It was a simple diagram, really, but it clicked everything into place. Imagine a membrane like a thin fence. On one side, you have a lot of a specific ion, let's say potassium, and on the other, not so much. That difference in concentration creates a chemical gradient, a natural push for potassium to move from where there's a lot to where there's little. You can almost see these little potassium ions, like tiny billiard balls, being pushed by an invisible force across the membrane. But then, as these positive potassium ions move across, they leave behind negative charges on the side they left, and they add positive charges to the side they moved to. This creates an electrical difference, a voltage across the membrane. Now, this voltage isn't just sitting there, it's an active force. Since the side they move to is becoming more positive, and like charges repel, this electrical force starts pushing the potassium ions back to where they came from. It's like a magnet repelling them. So you have two forces, the chemical gradient pushing potassium out, and the electrical gradient pulling potassium back in. Equilibrium potential isn't when one force completely wins or when all movement stops. It's that precise point where the strength of the chemical push trying to move ions in one direction is exactly equal to the strength of the electrical pull trying to move them in the opposite direction. They cancel each other out perfectly. There's still movement, individual ions are still crossing the membrane, but for every ion that goes out, another comes back in, so there's no net change in the number of ions on either side, and no net change in the voltage. The Nernst equation, that formula I used to dread, suddenly made sense. It wasn't just a bunch of letters and numbers to memorize. It's the mathematical way to describe this perfect balance point for a specific ion. It takes into account the concentration difference and the charge of the ion, and then calculates the exact voltage needed to counteract that chemical push and stop any net movement. It's a snapshot of that precise moment of balance. Thinking about it step by step, it became clear. First, identify the ion. Second, where is it more concentrated? That tells you the direction of the chemical push. Third, as that ion moves, what kind of charge builds up? That tells you the direction of the electrical pull. Fourth, what voltage would you need to create to perfectly oppose that chemical push? That voltage is the equilibrium potential. It simplifies what felt incredibly complex into a logical sequence. The struggle was finally over. Equilibrium potential wasn't a mysterious, impossible concept anymore. It was a clear, logical, and even elegant interaction of forces. This understanding didn't just help me ace that exam. It changed how I looked at everything else in physiology. Resting membrane potential, action potentials, they all built on this foundational idea. Understanding the balance for one ion made it easier to understand how multiple ions contribute to the overall potential across a cell membrane. It was like finally getting the secret code to a complex system. Of course, it wasn't magic. It still took practice to apply this understanding to different scenarios and ions, but the core concept was demystified. I wasn't just memorizing, I was understanding, and that made all the difference. Equilibrium potential isn't a wall to hit, but a dance to learn. And now you know the steps.